Last time on the adventures of Captain Armadillo, our hero had been hot on the trail of the mysterious culprit that had left the lunch trucks of Diggerton depleted.
I'm getting close. I can feel it in my shell. What's this? A sign? If you can read this, you're standing in me trap. Trap?
Rightio there, mate. You done blundered into me hero snare.
I should have known you were behind this, General Bushwhacker.
Yeah, you might have, but you never was so brill.
Why are you here in the States? Aren't you supposed to be fighting superheroes in Australia?
I'm on holiday while Captain Koala recovers.
Recovers? From the forest fires?
Nah, hear that Captain Kangaroo had once starred in a TV show and he got a little jelly. Tried it out himself. Poor lad, I never seen him so stressed.
So you figured you'd come after me instead?
If you don't mind.
As it so happens, I do mind. Now let me out.
Now you know I can't do that, Captain. If word got out that the bushwhacker's going soft, then my brand would be ruined. No, you're gonna have to tell me the codes of the White House's secret vault or you'll be my prisoner forever.
Not so fast.
Who said that?
The one who creeps through the darkness. The whiskered face that only a mother could love. The reason you lock up your garbage at night.
You, Jackman?
No! It's me, Awesome Possum, the pouched powerhouse, the nocturnal nemesis here to ruin your day.
Look here, Missy. Your marsupial mannerisms may mortify muggers, but down under, heroes like you are a dime a dozen. Bring it on!
Very well.
I can't look.
Will Awesome Possum prevail, or will the Aussie assailant assuage her onslaught? Find out in next week's episode. And now, a message from Wildwood.
Hey Peter, what's up?
Hi, Rachel. Kyle and I are reading Mr. Jacobs' comic books.
You and Kyle?
He'll be back. He's spying on Mr. Jacobs at the moment.
Spying?
No good, he's in the bathroom.
I told you, Kyle, he's not a superhero.
Then how do you explain the suit?
Suit.
Yeah, you're minding your own business, reading comic books, talking to Mr. Jacobs about a show we're watching where the supervillain is captured by a time-traveling organization.
Anyway, while we were talking, a dry cleaning van showed up and dropped off his suit.
Suit? What did it look like?
We couldn't tell. It was in a black bag with a coat hanger.
So, of course, Kyle thought it was a super suit and has been trying to get a look at it.
Yeah, apparently he's trying it on now. Gotta make sure it fits before going out to fight crime, I guess.
Couldn't it just be a normal suit?
Normal? You mean like generic unitard or something, or what you thinking?
I'm not sure what that is, but I was thinking like a suit with a tie and shiny shoes.
And what? What would his superhero name be? Businessman? Give me a break.
Well, guys, what do you think?
Whoa, snazzy.
I knew it was that kind of suit.
Looks great, Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you, Kyle. Is there something wrong?
He was hoping for a super suit.
Oh, I see. Sorry to disappoint you. I had to get this suit ready for the wedding this afternoon. It was a close thing, but it all worked out.
You're going to a wedding?
I wouldn't miss it. After all, it wouldn't look good if I didn't show up for my own... Oh, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Hello?
Consider it held.
Was he about to say what I think he was?
Mr. Jacobs is getting married without telling us?
I mean, he doesn't know us that well. It's not that shocking.
Maybe not for you guys, but Mr. Jacobs and I have known each other for years. He would have at least told me. I think. He would have told me.
Should I start up the radio?
I think we'd better.
Okay, so to be clear, Mr. Jacobs, you're not going to your wedding today.
Right.
It's your sister's wedding.
Right.
And you would tell us kids if you were going to get married.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kyle, you can breathe now.
I didn't know you had a sister.
Well, she's a busy lady, and I don't see her very often, so I guess I never thought to bring her up.
Wouldn't she be a little old to get married?
Peter, that's not nice to say.
What, Rachel? Usually people get married when they go to college or something. That's when everyone I know got married. And no offense, but I don't think your sister just got out of college, Mr. Jacobs.
No, you're right about that. She's been a business person for the last 20 years. In fact, she just recently became the vice president of her company.
Wow, impressive.
It's almost too bad she's getting married.
Why do you say that, Kyle?
I mean, well, you know, once she gets married, she's got to stay home and cook and clean and stuff.
Is that true?
Yep, it's in the Bible. Once a girl gets married, it's her job to take care of the house and the kids. That's it.
And which verse of the Bible do you get that from?
Well, don't have it memorized, but it's in there.
Maybe I don't want to get married.
Yeah, it's a rough deal, but I don't make the rules.
These rules are definitely interesting. I have a Bible here. Why don't we look some verses up and you can show me where the Bible tells us these things?
Okay. Is it okay if I use my phone to look stuff up too?
No, I don't mind. Let me know when you find something.
This is going to be interesting.
Doesn't look like we'll have time for a drama script today,
Yeah, but watching Kyle squirm is almost as good.
but not as good as listening to the radio.
Good point. I'll start it up.
Finding anything, Kyle?
Kind of. It's not as clear as I thought.
What do you mean?
I thought there'd be verses that say, a godly wife is one that only works at home. But there aren't any that I can find that say that exactly.
Did you find any that come close?
Just these verses in Titus 2 and 1 Timothy 5. And they don't say that wives can't have jobs, they just say that they have to make sure that things are taken care of at home.
Doesn't that mean the same thing, though?
Not really, Peter. Though it might be more difficult in some families than others, most women in history both did housework and had jobs too.
But that doesn't mean those women were doing what God said to do.
Oh, I don't know. In Proverbs 31, God talks about an amazing wife who not only takes care of her family, but is also a business person.
You mean she goes to work in an office or something?
Maybe she would if she was living today. But the Bible tells us that she works hard weaving cloth and clothes to sell to the merchants. Then she uses the money to buy land, where she plants grapes and sells those too. The chapter also says she takes care of those who work for her, and she makes sure that all of her deals make her the most money possible.
That does sound like she's doing more than taking care of babies, washing dishes, and vacuuming.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's what her husband thinks too. He trusts her completely, and he and the rest of the family live happily because of this amazing woman.
Speaking of husbands, we've been talking a lot about the girl's job in marriage, but what about the guy? Does he not have to do any of the work?
Yeah, he's kind of the boss of the house. Found a lot of verses that said that wives have to submit to their husbands and stuff like that.
Submit?
It means let them be in charge.
Of course it does.
Well, there are quite a few verses that talk about that and explain why that's the case. But to get back to the husband's role in all of this, in Ephesians 5, God tells us guys that we need to give everything for our wives, just like Jesus gave everything for the world. This means helping them, protecting them, caring about them, listening to them, serving them, and comforting them.
But how are they supposed to be the leaders of their house if they're doing all that stuff for their wives?
It's because they do all those things that makes them leaders. Like it says in Matthew 20, leaders must be servants. Even Jesus, God himself, came to serve us. So we, as his children, need to serve each other, men and women alike, because this is what true love looks like.
Wow. So that's what marriage is? Loving and serving each other like crazy?
That's pretty much it.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a while.
Well, while you're busy thinking it over, I'm going to listen to the radio.
Mr. Jacobs, this may shock you, but I have a question about what we've been talking about today.
I can't say I'm surprised, Peter. What's your question?
Well, this whole getting married thing sounds like a lot of work.
That it does. Is that your question?
No, I was just thinking, whenever I'm around grown-ups and they start talking about weddings and stuff, they look at me and say stuff like, sooner or later, it'll be your turn.
Because that's not creepy at all.
Yeah, so my question is, do we have to get married?
That's a good question. And even though some people might not agree, the fact of the matter is not everyone is cut out for getting married. And that's a good thing.
Wait, it's good not to be married?
It can be, Rachel. Both Jesus and Paul said that for some people it's a lot easier to follow God if they don't get married. But for others, it's for the best that they do.
I don't get it. So is getting married a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, it's a good thing, Kyle. But just because it's good doesn't mean it's the right thing for everyone to do.
That makes no sense.
I'll try a little harder. God made all good things. From strawberries to sunshine to puppies to singing. You get the picture.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Even though we can all agree that these things are good things, it doesn't mean that if we are going to be God's children, we have to have all of these things. In fact, for some people, they might be worse off if they did have these things.
Like if they were allergic to dogs.
Yeah, that might not work out so well.
So, I have a question for you, Mr. Jacobs. You seem to know a lot about this whole marriage thing. Have you ever thought about getting married before?
Funny you should ask, Rachel. As a matter of... Oh, there's my ride to the wedding. I've got to go, kids. Good talking with you, and if you could turn off the radio when you leave, that'd be great.
Got to be kidding me.
What a way for the conversation to end.
It's like he knew he was going to be interrupted and leave us hanging like that.
What do you think he was going to say?
Beats me. I'm still trying to get my head around all the other stuff he was talking about this morning.
Yeah, it was a pretty heavy morning. I look forward to the mornings where we talk about something simple, like not stealing.
Maybe next time. Want to turn off the radio?
I've got it.